Josh has Hopper. The first thing we're going to enforce is the waiting at the threshold.
Wow.
Good boy.
That was cool.
Hop's done pretty much all of his work with me so far this week. So I thought we'd see how he responded to Josh. Doing basic stuff, thresholds, sending him to place, asking him to lay down, recall, all that. Let's see how he responds with another person. Who is it?
Who is
I
it?
got it. We're going to send him to place.
Place. Whoa, that's good.
Good job. If he doesn't lay down as a default, Josh is going to tell him to down if he doesn't make a mistake here.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm trying to see, there's the coping skill. He thought about breaking and then he says, oh, you know what? I'm at training. I'm going to lay down instead. That's what he should be doing at home. Place is going to keep him out of trouble. Keeps him calm. Another thing to note, Josh, when did you put his e-collar on?
I'm sorry?
When did you put his e-collar on?
Let me count.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
His owners were having some trouble at home getting it on, but they were trying to do it out of the crate.
that makes sense.
He was playing Catch Me If You Can. He was acting all hyper, making it impossible. So I think the best tip for them would be just put it on before he leaves the crate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And then take it off when he goes back in the crate.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they're smart.
They are very smart.
That's your only way of holding them accountable, so
Yep.
catch me if you can, you know, so just put it
Oh,
on
and he's
the
having a
count.
great time doing it.
Good. I'm sure. So I just put it on the count, let him out.
No issues. Yep.
We went
Perfect.
out, you know, good. And now we have a way of correcting if we need to. Good boy. But it seems like this guy really remembers.
Oh, his training
really
is so
well.
solid. I struggled to get him to make a mistake,
It's
to be
really-
honest with you.
really
Yeah.
good. Yeah. So it's just a matter of making sure he doesn't outsmart you, because they're really good at doing that. And then, which get the call on before he comes out. And then, of course, just making sure that you maintain that leadership role if he's trying to mess with the boundaries or not listen. Make sure you're correcting. And I think you're going to be A-okay because the knowledge is totally there. I was expecting a little bit of just cleanup that was necessary.
No,
but
he's been perfect.
He's been going right into
Yeah.
it. Same with the other guy here who's in for a tune-up. I was just really impressed with how flawless he was doing some of these things without me having to kind of reteach anything. Good. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. Yeah.
He's cute.
What kind of
Australian Labradoodle.
Right. You got that lab in you. Right. What else you got? I might as well play with you while you're here. Touch the paws. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Touch paws. Oh boy, that's good. Yeah, it's hard. It's good. I know you found love. Yeah. Chocolatey. That's good. I'm just testing you. That's a good boy. Stay. Very nice. Rig. Might as well see what happens here. Hi, how are ya? How are you doing? You a good boy? Is this your favorite part of the day? Oh yeah, it is. Oh yeah, it is. Where's your toys? Where's your toys? Where are they?
We're trying to bring big mistakes out of Hopper. That's why Josh isn't asking for the down.
Yeah. I see the little. You see the little flinch there? Yeah, I seen it. Wait.
There it is. Pressure's on. Pressure's off.
Boy. We want to get those.
Get them out. Get the mistakes out.
So there you go. It shouldn't. If we're doing this right every day, it shouldn't be that easy for him to make a mistake. Where just squeak, toss, and then off.
Gone. Yeah.
But if if the dog especially hasn't went through a good training program or something like that, that's totally how it works. If they haven't went through the right training program where they're thorough, he'll be on place if you're lucky, and then like a leaf. or a
Yep,
feather
and there he
will
goes.
fall,
Yep.
And then that's it.
Riggs, leave him alone. Yeah.
So, like you said, I'm not having him down right now because I want to push the mistakes out. Repeat it.
Good.
Some learning lessons in there. Let's do some food. See how the food does. So what's the main issue at
Well, it was putting the collar on,
Putting the collar on.
and then given any liberty around the house, he makes terrible choices. He's in the trash. He's eating stuff off the tables.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So we can.
really opportunistic.
Right.
Eating poop outside.
I understand.
Yeah,
it. So
yep.
basically, that is the stuff in between the commands, right? Let me quiet the room down a little bit here. So are they able to apply the commands just fine?
Yes.
All right, that's good. So that's good. If they're able to do the commands and they find a success there, great. In between, he's getting in trouble. There's work to do in those. There's work to do in between. So great. What it looks like is this: when you get, and we had to go through it with all of our personal dogs, and it's part of the raising process. Outside of the commands, which is where we're kind of safe, you know. If he's listening to the commands and he's staying there, great, we're safe. If we're having trouble with the commands though, and he's like leaving the place command and going and getting into the trash, that's a different story. That's when you got to work on the commands and make sure that you're correcting when he makes the mistake. Maybe set up so that he makes a mistake intentionally, so that you can correct, and tighten that up. But let's say you did that and the commands are fine. But you're letting them free, and now they're making terrible choices. I'm on the counter, I'm eating out of the trash, I'm barking out the window, whatever it is. Those are still training sessions. So in your mind, you're thinking, I'm going to give him free time with the intention
But I'm
of
watching.
correcting the things that I don't like so that they don't continue to happen. The reason why he's doing these things is because they're enjoyable.
They're self-rewarding and nobody's stopping him.
Searching the counter, it's fun, even if I don't find anything. It's great if I do find something. Sniffing around the trash is fun, even if I can't get inside of it. It's awesome if I can get inside of it, so it's self-rewarding. So you let them free, you let them make the mistakes, you correct them for making the mistake, and it looks a lot like this. You're just kind of watching the dog kind of nonchalantly. You make it look like you're not hawk-eyeing, you're not like, you know, because then they won't make the mistake as easily. So you kind of let them free, and you're keeping an eye on them, make it look casual. And you can even do setups where you put things on the counter to entice him to go over and make the mistake. When the dog goes and makes the mistake, you give a nice healthy correction on the collar. I personally wouldn't overreact with my body or anything. I wouldn't be like, hey, no, and correct. I wouldn't do any of that. I let it just be the event. Jumping on the counter equals the correction. Getting in the trash equals the correction. Not me seeing you and saying no equals the correction. Because then the dog's just going to see.
No, wait till you leave the room.
Exactly. So even one step further, if he turns out to be, he needs it, you know, you can leave the room. Actually leave it, but keep an eye on him through like a doorway or even a camera, and so that he can learn even when you're not around, it happens. And what happens is it puts a bad taste in the mouth. It's not something they enjoy anymore, and you'll see very quickly you won't be able to get the dog to make the mistake. You can put a slice of pizza or steak on the counter, and you'll see the dog be like, nope, not doing that, right? And so, as you're going through your day, if you're going to give him freedoms, the first few times that you do anything new, it's going to be with the intent of correcting all the bad things, all right? So he's free, just correct the things that he's doing wrong until you can't get him to do it anymore. Now, that's something that you have to do. If I could do that for you, I would do that for you. I 100% would do that for you, but unfortunately, it has to be done by you in your house because the dogs are smart. If I could set it up here, listen, he probably won't do it here, right?
No, I tried. He won't. He puts
He's
himself
gonna
on.
know-
He puts himself in command.
Right. And maybe if he lived with us for a long time and was able to scope out the holes in our leadership and be like, okay, in these moments, I might be able to get away with it. And then try it, maybe. But we run a pretty tight ship. Our dogs aren't allowed to just, we don't personally, I don't personally, at this current time in my life with my current dog, who is Riggins and Sparkles and Izzy, they're not allowed to just roam around the house. So if I offer them to come and do something with me around the house, that's great. Otherwise, I want them to just go relax. Because I just don't want to worry. You know, I don't want to worry. I got a kid, you know, I got things going on. I don't want to be like, where's the dog? So I personally use the structure as of right now in my life. So if I were to do something free with him or any dog, it would be a matter of watching their behavior, correcting things I don't like, Xing out everything I don't like until all that's left is something I do like. Now here's the thing, here's the crazy, this is where it gets crazy. You're gonna be like, well now all he does is go and lays down.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to do during downtime.
Because everything else is wrong. Because everything, one of our friends had said to us, who's a great trainer, he said, all they do is either get in trouble or sleep.
Yep.
It's like in between, they're not really gonna do anything productive. They're not gonna go sweep your floor. They're not gonna go, try to like earn their keep. They're gonna go get into stuff or relax. And that's it. So you might as well have them relax. So what will end up happening, what I've seen in my experience is I will let dogs free. I will correct them for doing the things they want to do that I don't like. And then what they end up doing is laying down.
Yes.
And then I say, I like
And then,
that.
hey, when it's time to go take a walk or take a hike, let's go.
So then what ends up happening is, like, if I go upstairs with Riggins, for example, I don't have to say anything to him, he's just going to go lay down. He might lay down on the floor next to his bed, he might lay down on his bed, but he's resting and waiting because he already knows, because I've applied this method to him of letting him free and correcting what I don't like. Anything that he wants to do, I don't like. He wants to sniff the counters. He wants to get in the trash. He wants to go into my kid's room and see if there was any crumbs. He wants to do all those things, and that's all he wants to do. He doesn't want to go take the trash out, sweep the floor. None of that's happening. Nothing productive is happening. So he's just going to scan and see if there's something to get into. So that's how you get rid of it, though. Counter surfing, easy fix. What else is he doing? Getting in the trash, easy fix.
Eating paper towels.
Easy fix.
Eating goose poop.
Easy fix.
Yep, it is.
It's just let him do it. Correct him if he doesn't.
Yes.
Don't panic. Don't be like, oh, none of that. That just stuff. It really makes it worse. It really, I don't understand scientifically exactly why it makes it worse, but it does. If you're panicking, just stay cool, calm, and collected. You see him doing it, bang.
I saw a reel on
No, don't do
Instagram
that.
yesterday, and it said how to get your dog to take their pills. And the answer that they had was pretend it's something they're not supposed to have.
Wow.
And it worked.
That's
Isn't that
That
crazy?
is how it works.
So that's how much your dog doesn't want to listen to you.
Don't touch this.
Yeah, they like acted like it
Put
was
it on the
something they
counter.
shouldn't have, and the dog ate it. And then when the guy started saying no, the dog started eating it faster.
What happens in that moment is that you add value to it. So if you're
Yes.
claiming it, you're saying don't touch it. Essentially, you're claiming it. Like the dog will say,
The dog's like,
"Don't
ha,
touch
ha,
it, it's
ha."
mine."
Yes.
And well, that's valuable then, so I must have. Like you'll see a dog grab a stick. Nobody gives a crap about the stick, and he'll be like, "This freaking stick's awesome." Toss it around, and all of a sudden everybody wants the stick, and then they guard it.
Yep.
It's just add value to something. I need that thing, right? So that's really what's happening. You're saying, "Don't touch this." That must be valuable. I need that now. And also, on top of that, the hierarchy. If I listen, then I'm giving control, which means you're calling the shots. We can't have that.
Yep.
Right? So
Yeah, only you or your dog can have that position. And if you don't take it, your dog's going to take
it's
it.
definitely not going to be a democracy with the dogs.
No.
You'll notice that they'll override you. If you start letting them chip in and say how things are going, you're going to realize that they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to give you a say. So if they want to bark, they're going to bark. If they want to pull, they're going to pull. They're not going to do it because they're not going to feel bad for you, unfortunately, because they hurt your arm from pulling you and you have a sore arm, or you had a hard day at work, so I'm not going to bark today because you had a hard day at work. You never see this. It won't ever happen. They don't feel bad for you, and because maybe you're sad or you're sick, so today I won't jump on the counter today because I know, Mom, I know you're having a rough month. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, it's not an easy thing, but, I mean, technically it's a simple fix, but you have to, I understand how busy life is. I understand that we have a lot going on, the chaos. The trick is to stay one step ahead of them. So don't give them the free time if you're not ready to watch them in the beginning. You'll know when you can trust your dog. You'll know when the stress will be down. You'll just have that feeling of like, I don't think he's gonna mess with
Yeah, we've literally left plates of food out on accident, and Riggins doesn't touch it.
Right, because he thinks it's a setup.
He thinks it's a setup.
literally
He knows
thinks we're
better.
waiting to be like,
Yes.
Jump out of the closet and we're gone. We're literally hours away. And,
Yeah.
but so if you do enough setups like that, they think everything's a setup.
And then they're going to be good boy.
So, yeah, I would do. If he was my guy and he was doing that, I would be setting things up.
Yeah.
Just speed it up. Like,
Yeah.
the progress done quick. They're like, hey, today we're gonna have stuff on the counters, and
We're ready.
You're ready to do whatever you want, right? Just make sure when you give a correction, you give one that makes him not want to do that again.
Yep.
Don't go
Make it
give him
motivating.
something firm so that he doesn't.
One and done. Yep.
Because think about how rewarding it is to get a piece of food off the counter,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's awesome. And I think they enjoy the fact that they're like smart dog, like he's a smart dog. So they get to like play the game of like, you know, is anyone looking? That kind of thing. So that should be a pretty simple fix. I don't know how chaotic your house is. I don't know anything about that, but if you run a pretty tight ship and it's kind of, you know, you're able to calm down the environment, it should be pretty easy. He's not going to do it here just because he's not going to gamble.
He's too smart.
Yeah, he would have to live here, and we'd have to live loose with him, and we'd have to
Really let him loosen up, yeah.
Loosen up, like really, and then maybe months down the road, he might be like, let me give it a shot. Hopper. Great.
Good job.